guys, Reaper here. Thanks for tuning in. So Dreadnoughts have landed, everybody. Exciting times for some, but they've introduced it into this faction warfare-esque kind of encounter that you can run to earn some loyalty points. In this video, we're going to look at this and see how good it is, what it means, what could be done better, and there's a lot of the what could be done better. So let's get right into this. As you can see at this screen, this is much like Faction Warfare where you select your ship at the beginning, except in this you've only got one of each race's ships. You've got the Phoenix, the Naglfar, Revelation and the Moros in the correct order at the bottom there. The best ship for this at the moment in the current state is the Revelation, spoiler alert, because it can take out the NPCs as well as the players, which we'll get into a bit more. So when you first load this up, you can choose from one of 3 different loadouts. The ship comes with no modules as standard, and then you can add 2 modules per round if you like. I'm going with the adaptive invulnerability field and the afterburner for this particular stage because tank is very important in this, especially when you get against other players in other dreadnoughts later on. And as we go through this video, I'll explain a bit about what you can do to make sure you're finishing top position each time. So at the beginning, we load into space like so, and when you're zoomed into your ship, as you first enter, you see a cool sinosaural field around the ship, which alludes to the fact that there are going to be sinos on dreadnoughts, which is quite cool. I've just activated the special module on the bottom right next to all my other modules, which gives me a boost to various things like massive boost of over 700% to damage. As you can see here, it looks like I'm one-shotting battle cruisers and battleships, but for some unknown reason in this mode, the devs in their infinite wisdom have decided to give battleships equivalent hit points of a very weak cruiser, which I'm not too sure why that's the case, but who knows. It just maybe they've put a lot of effort into actually getting the dreads working with the siege mode, and perhaps for this quick test and by all means, from the devs' opinion, this could be a quick test, but in my opinion, this has been rolled out as mainstream content, so I would have hoped that it would have been a bit more intuitive. So I've killed the first wave of NPCs, and now I need to choose my next thing. What's really important is cat batteries and having an active repairer. So anytime you see a cat battery, take it. Don't care about the other modules. If you can get 2 cat batteries and 1 local repairer in the siege mode or standoff mode, face-off mode, whatever they've decided to call it in this, you aren't going to be taken down even if you've got a couple of dreads shooting you. Ideally 2 local reps or shield boosters, 2 cat batteries, and yeah, you're going to be absolutely golden going forward. As we go through the NPCs in this, they do get progressively harder, although at no point would any player, including a new player for that point, necessarily break a sweat as long as they picked the correct modules as they went through this. As you can see, I'm pretty much one-shotting everything. So with the DPS I can see here, I mean, some of the first concerns are I'm in a dreadnought and I'm shooting battleships, which from what I can see here aren't really moving that much, but I am hitting them for pretty much full damage. I'm sure for everybody watching this, you can expect some changes, and I don't think you'll be shooting down battleships as easily as this in this particular event and scenario, as they seem to have no hit points, which again, I don't know why that's happened. I've just destroyed that last ship, so as you can see in the top left, we've got the number of kind of participators and survivors and what wave we're on. So I know there's 3 other players currently going through these waves. None of them have been blown up by NPCs yet. I've now run several of these faction warfares, or whatever you want to call them, dread warfare missions, and the amount of times I've got to the end expecting to see 3 players when there's just 1 Dreadnought there, which is pretty much already dead, and taking him out is quite hilarious. I guess, yeah, fair play. People are still learning, figuring it out, and on my first go, I was in a Phoenix with the missiles, trying to shoot some NPC ships, not killing them, not doing anything because their explosion velocity and radius is absolutely terrible. So the Phoenix is not one for ratting, but from what we can see here, the Dreadnought might be. It might be indeed. So I've just taken a massive hit. I've taken a lot of damage, but I've kind of got the ideal loadout at this stage. I've got 2 cap batteries, which you want to strive to get. I've got the 1 capital shield booster, and I've got 1 adaptive. As it stands, I don't really need anything else. This is kind of optimal. And after this wave, whatever modules I add on top of this is only going to benefit even more. And on this kind of last NPC wave, you've got to watch out a bit because there's a Phoenix which does tremendous damage, so you need to have your Repper running all the time. And it is against this wave that if any players were to get blown up, it's because they don't have a local repairer or an extender or an armor plate. They don't have a cap battery. They've taken the wrong choices and they simply cannot survive against this Phoenix. It is always a Phoenix, and the Phoenix, when those missiles hit a Dreadnought, i.e. yourself, do ridiculous damage. So yeah, make sure you've got the cap battery, the shield booster, an adaptive, and then what comes after that is some damage upgrades like the heat sinks or potentially another adaptive. I would probably go for the heatsink. So I'm quite happy with this loadout at the moment, and we're now fast approaching the fun part, supposedly, against the other players. So let's see how that goes. I've only got 7 seconds left of this wave, so I don't think I'll be taking this Phoenix out. And the round is done, so here we go. We're about to get some actual players spawning on grid. Let's pick our last selection. So as I've said, we've got kind of all of the optimal stuff. So the thing I'm going to go for here is the heatsink to improve my DPS, as I don't need to worry about my tank or my capacitor. I don't necessarily need that micro warp drive. It is going to reduce my cap capacity, but having the 2 cap batteries, I don't think I need to worry too much, but I do need to worry about the damage. So let's get going with this. And yeah, we've got a Revelation, and I'm going to lock up. We've got a Naglfar as well, and we've got we've got 2 Nags, and we've got 1 Revelation. And the Revelation is my court mate, Hecky Thump. So Hecky is pretty much dead. He's come through this worse for wear, not taken the right selections. Mate, I love you, and this is probably your first go at this. I don't mean to shoot you here. I should have not taken you out, but because you're always going on about lasers, and I just got to take you down now. It's a bit of rivalry, and yeah, so and you can see who the other guys are shooting. Generally speaking, you'd be stupid not to shoot the weaker ship because you can get them out of the way quicker. And then I'm going to go for this guy on the right, as he's got the lower shields. If you can see the other ships, I've got the guy on the left red boxing me. I've got both of these ships red boxing me from the look of it, but I don't need to worry because I've got 2 cap batteries, and as I've said, I've got that shield booster. So I from experience and doing this so far, I will be able to tank them, and I don't think I'll have an issue with that. So yeah, you can see this Nag's going down now. I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up a bit and give you my opinion, what I think about this. So I think it could have been done a bit better because I've done maybe 4 or 5 battles so far, and I'm now at the point where it's just really boring. Faction warfare is good because you're in fast frigates, there's tactics involved, there's lots of players, there's capturing bases. This is like pulling teeth because you're just sat there. You can't even move off of the spot. It's like you're rooted in place, you know. So there's no tactics. It's just you pick a dread and it's a slugfest. You're shooting another dude, and you know, if you're lucky they go down, if you're unlucky you get a bad selection. So yeah, this could have been done a lot better. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe if you can hit me up in the comments below, that will be great. And as always, guys, thanks very much for watching.